Hi everyone, my name is Tiffany Edwards and this is my applied assignment. So the topic I chose was epilepsy and people with invisible disabilities. The reason I chose this topic was to gain a better understanding of the struggles that people with invisible disabilities face. The person I interviewed was actually my younger sister named Brittany. Some prior knowledge I had on this topic was that epilepsy was a disorder in the brain that causes seizures and can range in all different forms and severities depending on the person. I also had prior experience in witnessing my sister firsthand struggle with epilepsy and how much it affected her day-to-day life. Moving on to my evidence, the evidence I provided was just my interview notes. It is all of the questions I had asked my interviewee and what she had answered to each of those questions. The first thing I learned was that people with uncontrolled seizure disorders face more challenges and may find it harder to work or go to school regularly. For my interviewee, I know she expressed that going to school regularly was difficult for her, not because she would have seizures at school, but because when people found out about her disorder, they began to look at her differently. So it resulted in her not feeling comfortable enough to attend school, and so she actually eventually became homeschooled. The second thing I learned is that seizures may look different than you expect. I feel like a lot of times the first thing that comes to mind when people think of a seizure is someone falling to the floor and shaking and becoming unaware of what's going on around them, but that's actually only one type of seizure. And unfortunately, that was the one that my interviewee had, but that's actually not the most common. More often, a person having a seizure may seem confused, or they'll stare off into space, wander, make unusual movements, or are unable to speak. And the third thing I learned is that epilepsy is more common than people think. There's about 50 million people worldwide who have epilepsy, making it one of the most common neurological diseases globally. And nearly 80% of people with epilepsy live in low to middle income countries. Also, just because someone has one seizure doesn't mean that they have epilepsy. Epilepsy is defined as someone having two or more unprovoked seizures. Something that I would love to learn more about is studies that they've done on people with epilepsy and if they will ever find a cure. I know that they do have medications that prevent epilepsy, but I don't believe that they have a cure. And my question to you guys is, do you know anyone with an invisible disability? Thank you.